Hello, and welcome to the adventures of Wally and Jeffery, orphans from Snod Hill. Wally and Jeffery were trying to hide from Mrs Slimebottom, the matron, at Snod Hill. They decided they'd go up into their secret hideout, the treehouse. As usual, Wally always went first. So he climbed up the ladder right to the very top. But a few minutes later, Wally was straight back down that rope ladder and having a word with Jeffery. Jeffery, what's the matter, Wally? There's somebody in the treehouse. Somebody in the treehouse, Wally? That girl is in the treehouse. What girl? You know what girl, that Dimple girl. What, Deirdre Dimple? Yes, that's the one, Deirdre Dimple. She can't be up there in the treehouse. That's our treehouse, Jeffery. She's not allowed up there. Why can't she go up in the treehouse, Wally? Because, Jeffery, it's our secret hideout. It's where we go to make sure Whiffy Bum doesn't catch us when we've been a little bit naughty. I'm never naughty. You're the most naughtiest of us. Anyway, Jeffery, she's not allowed to be up there. She's a girl. What difference does that make, Wally? We're boys. We don't play with girls, you know, Jeffery. I know, you've said that before. Anyway, you go up there and tell her she's got to find her own hideout. What, me? Yes, Jeffery. She's your friend. Well, I barely know her. I've only said hello to her. Well, I don't know her at all. Barely or otherwise. Now, off you go. Oh. So poor old Jeffery had to climb up the rope ladder right up to the very top of the big oak tree where the treehouse was. He grabbed hold of the rungs and he clambered up, one rung up at a time. He felt a bit queasy because he didn't like heights, but when he got to the top and got inside, there was Deirdre Dimple, sitting on a little box with a tin on her lap. Oh, hello, Deirdre. Hello, Jeffery. Oh, hello, Deirdre. It's nice to see you again. Would you like a piece of cake? Cake? Yes. I've been baking a cake in this tin. Oh, cake in that tin? How did you manage to do that, Deirdre? Well, I got hungry and I wanted to see if there was anything to eat, and I couldn't ask Mrs Slimebottom because she was asleep in her study. So I went into the kitchen and I saw all these ingredients and I just baked a cake. Would you like a piece? Would I? I'd love a piece. Yes, please, Deirdre. That's ever so clever of you. Oh, it's my pleasure. Here. She lifted off the lid and offered Jeffery a great big piece of cake. Oh, what flavour is it, Deirdre? It's chocolate. Chocolate? Oh, I love chocolate. Oh, thank you so much, Deirdre. Very kind of you to think of me and you and the cake. And, oh, it's very nice cake. It's a bit dribbly. It's very nice cake. So Jeffery gobbled up the cake. Chocolate was his favourite. He was just wiping his chops when there was a shout from below. Wally was fuming. Jeffery? Jeffery! What are you doing up there? Oh, Deirdre, that's Wally. I forgot about him. He's calling me. You better go, Jeffery. Yeah, yeah. Jeffery had to clamber back down the rope ladder all the way down to the ground to see what Wally wanted. Oh, ha. You all right, Wally? Jeffery, have you told her? What? Have you told her? Oh, no. I haven't told her, no. What were you doing up there all that time then? Oh, well, Deirdre's made a cake. I don't care if she's made a cape. You've got to tell her she's got to vacate the premises. Now stop mucking about, Jeffery. I know, but she's worked so hard on this cake and it was lovely and it was all chocolatey and it was delicious. Never mind that, Jeffery. Get up there and tell her to go. Oh, all right. So Jeffery clambered back up the ladder and got back into the treehouse where Deirdre was waiting for him. You all right, Jeffery? You look a bit puffed out. Yeah, I am a bit puffed out. It's a long way down there. Why don't you have another piece of cake? Oh, yeah, that would be very nice. I could do with another bit of cake, Wally, Deirdre. Thank you very much. Jeffrey had another piece of cake, and Deirdre had another piece of cake, and they scoffed and they ate and they gobbled it up. It's so nice, this cake. I love it. It's so good. You're so clever. And then there was only one piece of cake left. I don't think I could eat any more cake, said Deirdre. There's a small tiny space in my belly where I could manage just a little bit more cake, because I do like it. Why don't you have it then, Jeffrey? Yeah, well, if you don't mind, that's very kind of you. Thank you, I will. Just as Jeffrey was taking the cake, there was a creak on the ladder. Wally was climbing up, and he was not happy. Oh dear. What is going on in here? Oh, hello, Wally. What are you doing? We're just having a piece of cake, Wally. Well, I like that. Whilst I've been waiting down here, you've been filling your stomachs. Give me that cake. At that moment, there was a cry from below. It was Mrs Slimebottom. Oh no, it's Whiffy Bum. Now we're for it. Mrs Slimebottom was marching through the grounds, looking for the naughty orphans. Wally? Jeffrey? Where are you? Come here this minute. Jeffrey and Wally started to panic. Hey, Wally, you better come in, quick. Why don't you give me a hand? I've got a piece of cake, haven't I? Just then, there was a creak, and the rung that Wally was still standing on snapped, and Wally, he fell. Deirdre and Jeffrey looked at each other as they heard this sound. But it wasn't a thud as if he'd fallen on the floor, and gingerly they looked out of the window, down at the ground below the old tree. Wally had fallen on Mrs Slimebottom. Oh! And the cake in Wally's hand had become smeared all around Mrs Slimebottom's face. Wally! Wally Bonehead! Report to my office immediately! You are a very naughty boy! Mrs Slimebottom, it was... my office, now! Wally marched sadly off, tears pouring from his face, while Jeffrey and Deirdre hid very quietly in the treehouse. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that story, and join me again next time for more adventures of Wally and Jeffrey. If you've enjoyed these stories, you may be interested to know that I'm a writer, and I've written some books. This is my best book at the moment, Splidge the Cragflinger, about a boy of 12 who is entered into the Royal Tournament. Ever so exciting, so check out the links below. In the meantime, goodbye! Oh yeah, and if you like these stories, don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends. Bye-bye!